The welcome song got over, we dispersed into our classrooms. The inspection began. My class was the first target. Not just that, needlework was the bullseye. All the girls had displayed their needlework on their desks, all the girls except me, that is, I had nothing to display. I could see 2 feet beneath the black border of a 9-yard sari. They were approaching my desk, my breath stuck in my throat. My eyes threatened to fill. What's your name? Stand up. The words were familiar, but the tone was different, unknown. Vasanti Deshpande, I blurted out, standing up. Needlework, the question was familiar, not the voice that asked it. I don't have any, I gestured, shaking my head. Why not? The question was again familiar. The voice remained strange. No money, I answered, my voice just above a whisper. I marveled at my tears. They had not left my eyes. I was ashamed of myself. If only I could melt away like ice. Now, she says that after the welcome song got over, the inspection started and needlework was the bullseye. That means it was the main thing, it was the center of the target. And she further describes that when all the girls had displayed their needlework, she was being approached for the display by the inspectress, whom she describes that she was wearing a 9-yard sari. And when she asked her name, she said the tone was different and the words were familiar, which means that many times she has been asked the same question. After she says her name, she got the question needlework. That means where was her needlework? She said the question was familiar, not the voice that asked it. That means she has been asked about needlework several times, but this time the voice was different. That means some other person was asking. She replied that I have no money. My voice just above a whisper, a very small voice. And she said that I marveled at my tears. She wondered at her tears because they had not left the eyes. She was ashamed of herself. And she said that if I could melt away like ice, that means she wanted to vanish from the scene. Can't afford it? Can you? Can't afford plain cloth for needlework but can afford blouses with zari borders, huh? It was the same unfamiliar voice, rude now. My fear, my sense of shame, everything vanished. I looked straight into her eyes. When I spoke, it was my mother's voice that came out. You don't know what the zari border is hiding, I said. It's the purple haze. Some children have lots of purple haze in their lives. Do you know that? How dare you make fun of it? Abruptly, I stopped and walked out of the classroom. I ran all the way home and cried and cried. She said, when the inspectress accused her that she can afford to have blouses with zari borders, but she cannot afford the plain cloth, she says that her fear, her sense of shame, everything vanished. And she answered inspectress. She said that this zari border is hiding something which you don't know. It's the purple haze. Here, this purple haze has been referred to poverty, the blanket of poverty under which lives of many children are covered. Some children have lots of purple haze in their lives. Do you know that? How dare you make fun of it? She accuses her rudely that how dare she make fun of the poverty children are facing or many people are facing out there. The whole children was spent in cleaning the house. I collected some flowers in the evening. I spread a mat on the ground, sat down weaving the flowers into a weenie. I was so deeply engrossed in it that I did not see I and the visitor she had with her. I looked up. Instinctively, I stood up. It was the inspectress. She was staring hard at zari border on my blouse and then she spoke. So this is the house with purple haze, she said slowly. Now what happens in the evening? Her mother brings the inspectress home because she might have known this what happened, okay? And further the inspectress comes home and she apologizes. She came home to apologize the girl because she did wrong by accusing her.